My name is Katie Eddington. I'm from Scott County, and I'm the record holder in the 100 meter and the 200 meter sprints.
On October 13th of 2013, Katie was accidentally backed over by a riding lawnmower. She was transported to UK, which is where I was working at the time, and she was treated for some pretty traumatic injuries of her right leg. As a nurse at UK, that's a very sobering situation to know that your child is the person that they're talking about coming in as a trauma red. The extent of her injuries were a lot, and she lost a lot of blood and a lot of tissue, a lot of muscle, a lot of bone injury. It was pretty substantial. She was at a physical therapist's office or at a doctor's office, or she got blood on an outpatient basis as well. 3 or 4 days a week we were somewhere. Those 2 years are burned into my brain. Over the course of those visits, I met a really kind physician who said something that I needed to hear. He said that this is going to take about 10 years, and every surgery had to go perfectly to move on to the next one to get any kind of functionality. A child that's going to be a patient for 10 years is not going to be the happy little kid that I had. Medical people try to salvage, but at that point I wasn't a medical person, I was her mom, and I needed to do what was best, for her. How do you explain to a 6-year-old that I'm going to I'm going to ask somebody to amputate her leg? I don't know how to explain it really, except for that she was okay, and she asked appropriate questions, and she trusted me to do what was best for her. So she had her amputation in December. 5 weeks later, we flew her to Orlando to have her first prosthetic made. We flew back home on a Sunday, and she went back to school on Monday, and that was it. She never missed a beat. She got her first blade just a few months after she got her walking leg.
So as soon as I got my running blade, I jumped into 5Ks, and I kind of did that for a while, and then I got into sprinting, and I loved it ever since. I loved winning, so I just stuck with it. I felt great about it, so I just continued to do it.
In the 100 meters specifically, she's really fast and has a really good form and just very driven, and so she's been watched pretty closely in that event for the past 2 years.
So I had an invitation to a Paralympic camp in Chula Vista, California. I'd like to go to the bigger competitions. Obviously I'm probably not going to go to the Paralympics next year, but I'd like to go in 2028, which is in California. But for right now, I'm trying to go to the World Games.
She don't feel inspiring. She just feels like she's living her life just like everybody else is. But I think she is, because I know where she came from. I know what she looked like on October 13th.
Every October 13th, me and my mom try to give back to the community in some way. So we would normally just maybe send flowers to my prosthetist or something like that. And this year we decided to do a blood drive because I took a lot of blood whenever I was during surgery.
This is something that directly affected her. This is something that I know all my family and friends will come out for. This won't be difficult. I know them well enough to know they've showed up for everything I've ever asked them to do. And this is meaningful.
It was super cool to see everybody come together, and it put perspective into where it was going and who it was helping and where it came from. You can't be not humble and be an amputee. You have to be humble because there's always people that have it worse than you.
I only started donating a couple years ago, and it was almost embarrassing at how quick it was. That was my initial feeling after I was done. I was like, this makes me really sad that I haven't done this all these years. That I've hung 200 units of blood or more in my time, and I let Katie have 20 units of somebody else's blood, and I did not give 30 minutes of my time.
It saves people's lives. It saved my life.